If you're looking for some spring inspiration, stay tuned. This first project is an inspiration piece from watching Heather over at Create Your Own Cozy. She has a paper line that she sells for JRV or Jamie Ray Vintage. Her bunny papers sold out immediately when she done her video. I'll have that linked below. Go check out Heather's channel over at Create Your Own Cozy and see where I got my inspiration for this project. So what I've done is covered up that pineapple with some white paint. Now I'm adding a super thick coat of Mod Podge, and I'm going to be doing the iron-on method with a decoupage paper. What you want to do is get a really good thick coat, let it dry, then bring it back, and we're going to use the recycled bird ephemera. Like I said, I have this here already in my stash, and I'm going to be using one of her bunnies to go on this. So what I did was cut out the part that I wanted to go behind my bunny, and I'm going to take my nail and just kind of go around the inner edge of this frame, give it a little line, and cut that out to use as my background. Once I get this cut out, then I'm going to use my little mini press and a piece of parchment paper to go over this, and what I'm basically doing is getting that Mod Podge wet again by heating it up underneath of the paper, and it gives you no wrinkles. You guys, I love this method. And what I'm going to do is use this bunny from Recycled's Spring Project Blocks. Now, you can get these at Aunt Bee's Attic. I will also have a link for those in the description box below. So I don't want to be able to see anything behind my bunny when I put it on my other background. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick coat of just this off-white paint. Now, some people use white, but I don't want mine to be that bright. So I'm going to do this and let this dry. And then to save myself wrinkles, I'm going to do the same type of iron-on with this bunny. Once this paint dries, I'm going to take my Mod Podge and put a very thick coat on the back of this bunny and let it dry. Once it dries, then I'm going to iron it on top of the other paper, and I'm not going to put any wet Mod Podge on top of either of these papers because this is going to be a piece of art. No one's going to be touching it, so I'm not sealing it, and because I don't do that, I won't have any wrinkles. It is perfectly smooth. So if you don't need to seal something, this is the best way to do it. Use Mod Podge on the back and do the iron-on method. If you have questions about that or I didn't explain it properly, just drop them in the description box below. So I'm just going to cut these feet off my poor little bunny because I want him at a different stance. Now you're seeing that I'm reactivating that Mod Podge that I put on the back of my bunny, and it's going to stick to my paper. And now this project is done. Let me know if you're getting inspiration and what you think about this first one. Continuing on with the inspiration, this next two projects is inspired by Susie over at SusieOnTheFarm.com. She also has a YouTube channel, Susie on the Farm. She just did a video of all these different candle holders and risers, and they were so cute, mismatched, paint different colors. I will have her link in the description box below for that video as well. So I thought that I would go ahead and give these a couple different colors of paint to go with our bunny and whole spring theme. So we're using this petticoat pink from DIY. I sell this line in my booth, and I thought I would use the pink to bring out the pink in that bunny photo or piece of art. And then we're going to use this green paint. Another inspiration, Heather used the gypsy green from the DIY line. I'm using the fancy farm girl. It seemed to go with my bunny better. So I'm giving both of these a good coat of this. Then we're going to seal them really well with some matte clear coat. Use whatever kind of clear coat you want. I'm going to let that dry very well, and then we are going to do something I haven't done in a long time. I want to take this time to say thank you to all of my subscribers for all the comments you guys leave on my videos. It means so much to me. I love reading through them. It's how we keep in touch. I try to answer every single comment. If you don't want to comment, leave an emoji. That is wonderful. Or hit that like button. It really helps my channel, and you guys know I appreciate it very much. And if you don't know, I'm telling you right now that I do. Also, if you are new here, welcome. We are so glad to have you. Thank you for joining all of us people who love our junk, and our junk just makes us feel so cozy. That's what this channel is all about. I love junk. It makes me feel cozy. It is my zone, and I am so happy you guys have joined us in it. I love to create, I love to thrift, I love to upcycle, recycle, use things and turn them into something different or newer looking, or maybe a new style. I was raised on junk. That's how my parents raised us. They had a thrift store. You know, it's just in my blood. It always has been. And this channel is my outlet for that, and to meet other people who are like-minded, that love to thrift and love to upcycle and recycle. All right, so if you guessed it, we are going to white wax both of these candlesticks. Now, I love the way that this white wax gives this pink more of a classic look and less of a pinky pink. And I also love the way that it turns this green into a gorgeous muted green. Now, I love the green before we white waxed it for sure, and use this color without white waxing, but it's gonna go so great in our vignette. Wait till you see. It's been a while since we've done a vignette on this channel, and this video is the video. We're getting back to basics. We're doing thrift flips. We're doing colors that coordinate and having a vignette at the end of the video, so just wait and stay tuned. I can't wait for you all to see the next project coming up. It's a sweet little project. I'm so excited. I've had it in my stash for a while. I have been shopping my own stash, using things that I have. Now, I have still been thrifting, maybe once a month, but I've really been trying to use up products that I have had for a long time, and I won't be repurchasing, but they are still good products, and using stuff out of my own stash. I know a lot of other people are doing that right now in the YouTube world, as well as you guys at home. You know, we have a lot of things that we just overlook in our stash or that we're not using. Go get them. Use this video for inspiration. It may not be your color, it may not be your style, it may not be you want to do a spring project, but get inspired. Get creating, because it brings us so much joy as creators and is so therapeutic. All right, let me know what you think about these candlesticks. Do you love the colors together? Do you love the white wax? This next project is a gorgeous little brass lantern. I'm calling it a lantern. I don't know. I've never seen one of these. Let me know if you've ever seen one. I've had this in my stash, and I knew that I wanted to keep it. It's got a little mirror in the bottom of it. I'm sure it was a candle holder maybe. If you've seen one of these, or if you know it was maybe something that had a candle in it, let me know in the comments below. We're going to add some sweet little things to this to make it so gorgeous for spring. And I'm not gluing anything down because I don't want to ruin the integrity of this. So what I'm going to do is start out with this little mini pot that I got from Michael's. Now, these are much tinier than the ones from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to age this up with a little bit of white wax, just taking some and rubbing it on with a brush, and then of course wiping it back a little bit. It just kind of gives it that whole aged terracotta look. And you could take this step a little bit further and add like some watered down brown paint, or some Dixie dirt, or some real dirt, or you know, a lot of products they make out there to make things look aged and dirty. But I'm just adding the white wax to it, and I'm going to lay this on its side and put a tiny little bird cage. Geez, it's late. Y'all, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I have not been off work that long. I did have a comment. Someone said, "Are you a nurse?" And I know I've told you guys before, yes, I'm a nurse. I did psychiatric nursing for years, and ER nursing. I did it all really, but now I do 24-hour nurse line, and I love it. I get to work from home, and I used to be a cosmetologist. When I was 18, I got out of high school. I went and got my license and did that for a long time. So I've had more many hats. I've worked in factories. I've done it all. Waited on tables. Okay, so back to this project. I am putting a little set of flowers that were already glued together that came off another project. this cute little porcelain bird that came from Hobby Lobby. They have these right now in the same color, the same exact bird, and they have them in navy and olive green. I bought some. I already had the white one. I've had that one for about 2 years, and they've got them out again this year. So they're only $1.70 a piece with the 40% off of spring right now. So go grab some of those tiny little birds. I put those cute little eggs in there and another little flower. And then I'm going to add some beautiful crochet ribbon from Dollar Tree and make a big bow. And I think this just turned out so adorable. You guys will have to let me know what you think of this one. I'm so excited about this next project, you all. I've been excited about all of these, but I wanted to take this little wreath, and as much as I love it and I have used it in vignettes and things, I needed the base for what I've got in mind. So we're going to take off the existing greenery on this, and it gives us this really, really flat grapevine wreath that we're going to use to make a gorgeous piece that I'm going to be using in my own home and for staging. So what I'm going to do is grab a bunch of little pieces of greenery. I have a big bag that I keep of just extra parts, and we want to put different colors, different styles of pieces of greenery on here to get the look that I'm going for. Basically, what I'm going to do is just start sticking pieces of this, random pieces, random styles, in and around the little wires that are holding this wreath together. I'm not really going to glue much of the greenery. I will be gluing some moss coming up, but we don't want to cover the whole thing. We want some of the wreaths showing through for that aesthetic, and then we also want these pieces to kind of be sparse, and again, more of, you know, one type of plant and then a different type of plant and so on and so forth. You'll kind of get the idea as I keep going along doing this. Once we get the pieces that how I want them, and I feel like I've got enough greenery on there, I am going to be hot gluing the moss because there's just no way around it. It's not going to stay on here for the project I have in mind. Now that I've gotten the greenery mostly how I want it, I know it still looks pretty sparse, but we're going to go ahead and start adding in some of this moss, and I am going to be just gluing random pieces of it into the areas that I want it. With the moss, you want to have some on the top of the wreath, and you also want to have some glued kind of to the edges, again, just in kind of random places, because we don't want this to be completely covered. We want to be able to see some of the side of that grapevine wreath. The top's not going to matter too much with what I've got in mind, but you know, I want to be able to see some of the grapevine on the sides, but I also want to see the moss kind of hanging over the edge of the grapevine wreath. So I'm just being mindful with that whenever I'm gluing my pieces on. So I wanted to include some kind of a rusty color in my vignette and bring out some of the color of that bunny. And I remember I had this gorgeous urn. I love this color. I'm not doing anything to it. I think it's beautiful. I made my wreath to lay on top of it and to put a bird nest in. Now I'm not going to glue any of this down. Like I said, this is going to be just for my viewing and for staging. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of moss inside of my bird nest. I'm not gluing it either. You know, this is not going to be moved around or anything that's going to need to be glued. And then I'm just going to lay some of these birds' eggs. These were styrofoam, and I had painted a bunch of them up and just speckled them with some brown paint to get them, you know, kind of the color I wanted. I've done, you know, even some blue ones, but we're going to use neutral ones for this. And you guys will have to let me know what you think about this. I am in love with this. I can't help it. It's just gorgeous. And now it is time for the vignette videos. I so enjoyed doing this video and look forward to many more. And I will see you all in the next video.